G5 to G5. Using the Power Mac G5 to image the iMac G5. And we are almost there. Finalizing disk for OS install. The iMac G5 is not happy. You can hear them fans revved up. It is quite hot because it's running in target disk mode, so there's no temp control. So I'm pretty sure it's overheating, but it shouldn't have to suffer much longer. Yes, I did upgrade the G5 iMac with an SSD. So this install has been pretty fast. It's done over FireWire. I gotta act quick as soon as it's done because I don't want. There it goes. Okay, so we are done. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to hit restart on the Power Mac, and I'm gonna kill the power to the iMac. That way, it does not boot over FireWire. So power. Do I gotta actually unplug it? There it goes. So that's going to restart, and this should boot back into OS 10.5 because I have the install image on a separate partition on the Power Mac here. So that's done, and now, there we go. This is also booting off of an SSD, so it should be quite fast. There we go. Let's see if we're connected back to the network. Or if I got... Oh, it booted into the damn installer again. Hold on. Let's just start it, and we will do our startup disk here. Shit. Guess we gotta go through with it here. Quit. Startup disk. I guess I have to tell it to boot back from the other partition. It likes to get a little sticky here. Startup disk. Restart. That won't work, so we'll just hold down the Option key. I keep the Mac OS installer on a separate partition on this G5 just in case I've got to image anything. So we'll hold down the Option key as soon as we hear the chime. There we go. Yep. Is set to boot from the install DVD, which is not really an install DVD, it's the second partition. So as soon as this gets itself together, I will click over to the solid state drive, which is actually the install of Mac OS 10 that is on this Power Mac. I don't know why it takes so long. It's searching for other drives, but there is none, so trying to catch this before the Power Mac starts overheating itself from not having temperature control at this state. There we go. If I let it sit here, the fans will ramp up. It'll be louder than a jet engine. So there we go. Now we're booting from the actual install. Again, this is also a solid state drive in here, so this should be pretty quick. There go the fans. There we go. Now we are back here. Let's see if we got, okay, we got a yellow light on the network accounts. I need that to turn green or else I'm gonna have to manually rejoin it to the domain probably. We'll see if it wants to do it by itself. These things get real ornery when you reboot them. Is it gonna work? Well, let's see if I can log in. Probably not. Nope. Got to rejoin it to the domain. All right, cool. All right. You got to go in here with the local account. You already know how this works. It slipped off the domain and it won't join back. You see my G4 sitting over here as the green light. Everything's working on it. Oh boy. Come on. You see I've got the boot drive and the install DVD over there. So it's both on this machine. Let's go directory utility here. Yep, it is red on Active Directory. So we're gonna unbind without a password. We're gonna go services, Active Directory. Just check our settings, even though usually on PowerPC it stays the way you want it to, unlike on Intel where it resets. So this should be able to hit bind, enter the domain admin password, or username and password I should say. Join existing account, yep. And we're back. I'm just going to check system preferences here to make sure it can see network accounts. We'll go to accounts. I think I have to authenticate here with a local password, which is different from the domain admin password. Login options, plus, and yes, I can see all of the network accounts. So we are good to go ahead and log out. And we should have a green light. Beautiful. Excellent. We are back. All right, I've moved the G5 over to this part of the room. This is where I'm going to sit here and install all the software that I put on my machines, but I got one problem. Where am I going to plug into Ethernet? All 4 of those ports are in use with the 4 laptops sitting here. The ports behind here, both of them are in use. All 4 of these ports are in use. All 3 of those are in use there. The one on the left is a telephone jack, but nevertheless it's in use. Ethernet port back there is in use. So what am I supposed to do? Well, I don't keep the ridiculously long Ethernet cord here for no reason. See if I can find an open Ethernet port anywhere. Let's look at my switch here on the workbench. Oh, yep, we got a open port on the switch. So we're literally just gonna jack in right there, bring it between the surfaces, and unwind this Ethernet cord. We'll go around this way so that way I don't have to roll over the shit with my chair. Oh yeah, I love having this long ass Ethernet cord. So nice. Oh, caught on my foot there. So we will plug it in the Ethernet socket. There we go. It's janky, but it'll work for setting shit up. Let's give it some power. Yes, it's balancing on a trash can. That way it's not on the floor and I don't have to crane my neck down to look at it. First boot off the solid state drive. First boot off the solid state drive. There we go. Welcome music. Oh yeah, leopard. All right. Got to do the keyboard setup. Well, at least we booted into OS 10, so that's a success for me. Okay, got past the account setup. We are not in Cupertino. The closest city that this thing knows is Columbus, Ohio. Cincinnati is not an option on here because it wasn't an option until later Macs came out. So Columbus will work. They're in the same time zone. It is March 19th, 2025. It does know that. And it is 12:40 p.m. But the time and date won't matter because I'm going to be using NTP to keep the time set with the domain controller on my network. So there we go. Now we should be getting to the desktop here. And there it is. Now, first things first, let's see what version of macOS we are running. We are running 10.5.4, and we do have a gig and a half of RAM. That is the gig and a half that I upgraded from the gig and a quarter that came with this thing. And it is a 1.8 gigahertz PowerPC G5. Oh yeah. Macintosh SSD. Opens snappy quick. Let's check out front row. I always love front row. It's so cool. It's like the predecessor to Apple TV. Don't have any sources on here. I don't remember how this thing streams. I don't know. I know it doesn't use DLNA. Because if it did, you'd be able to see my Plex server from there. But now we got a whole bunch of configuring to do so that this can be a proper domain member. And that's just a lot of extra steps. So yeah. I was going to time lapse it, but I don't want to hold the phone the whole time, so I'll come back when it's done. I wish I could open the installer log. That would show me what's going on in the background. But instead, I'm just sitting here while it says running installer script. So here I wait. And here we are at finishing installation. So it looks like we're going to go for a reboot here. As soon as it gets its act together. That software update probably took a good 20 minutes to run, but I cut most of it out because who wants to sit here for 20 minutes and watch a line scroll across the screen? There we go. Now, sometimes when you do these software updates to a more modern version of Mac OS 10.5.4 to 10.5.8, sometimes it has to reboot twice. So we'll see if it does that this time. Because I know when I used to do this with the actual package you can download from apple.com, still available today, that it actually reboots twice. But we shall see. And this should have taken care of. Yep. So what happened there, it was updating the kernel on the first reboot, and now it's going to boot into the system. So this software update should have taken care of two things. One, upgrading the system to version 10.5.8, since my installer is version 10.5.4, and also updating iTunes to version 10.6.3, which is the last version supported on PowerPC. This is my latest acquisition to my computer lab network. This is my 40th, correct, 40th computer. I have 40 computers now. That is absolutely insane. But I like it and I'm happy. All right. I see we still have the old iTunes logo on the dock. But if I were to open it, it should change to the new one. Yep, there we go. Looks like I need QuickTime 755 or later to be able to use this version of iTunes. So I think I've got that on my file server. But let's check to see. We are in fact running 10.5.8 now. Excellent. Let's run software update again, see if it finds anything else. Because sometimes it makes you wait to get 10.5.8 before it shows other updates. We'll see. Hopefully it says your software is up to date. Nothing's popped up yet. Oh, wow. See what I mean? Look at all this stuff. Remote desktop client update, airport utility, Java, Safari, iLife support, front row, migration assistant, security update, and a lot of these require a reboot. So install 8 software updates. Here we go again. I'm not going to bore you guys with this. I'll just come back when it's done. And here we are rebooting after those 8 software updates took place. What do you want to bet there's even more? I doubt it, but there might be. So I'm going to actually run the software update utility a third time. I'm going to keep running software update utility until it says your software is up to date. So This is going to reboot, and it's going to come up here. There we go. All right. Grab me the mouse. Apple software update. Checking for new software. Hopefully there's no more updates, but can't never tell. Oh, just one more. Java for macOS 10.5, update 10, and this one does not require a restart. And of course, I need a password again. Balance the keyboard on my leg. This ought to be quick and easy. Downloading and then installing. Because there was one update still available, I'm going to actually run software update again. And this time it should say that everything is up to date. And I think that got disappeared into the background behind the applications window. Yes, it did. The updates were installed successfully, and it's automatically going to run software update again. I didn't have to do anything. Interesting. The Java update for macOS 10.5, update 10, actually has compatibility releases for 64-bit capable Intel-based Macs. Now this is I believe this is a 32-bit PowerPC based Mac. I'm not sure if it's 32 or 64. It might be 64. But what is interesting is that macOS Leopard, which is what this is running, was a truly universal operating system. It ran on PowerPC and Intel. Tiger 10.4 ran exclusively on PowerPC until you got to 10.4. Either 7 or 8. Once that release was released, it was a universal operating system. And so Intel Macs and PowerPC Macs could both run Tiger. But Leopard, through its entirety of its existence, was a universal operating system from 10.5 through 10.5.8, which is what we are now running. And we are also completely up to date to the as up to date as it can get. Now I've got a boatload of software to install, so I'll be back. So now I've got to give this thing a static IP address. And I think 10.0.1.244 is available, as my Dell is saying destination host unreachable. So we're going to go ahead and assign that to this. So manually 10.0.1.244. And when I hit apply, this should start getting replies. Request timed out, and there we go, getting replies. So now this iMac G5 has that IP address. Now, by setting it manually, I also have to set the DNS server and the search domains. Where's my mouse? There it is. So DNS server is the domain controller's address of Active Directory. And I got to type the search domain, so hold on. There we go. So we'll hit apply. And even though I'm not using the Wi-Fi right now, I want that to have a static address as well. So I'm going to see if anything is using 245 by pinging it from my Dell. And it's also unreachable, so that address is okay to use. Damn, I'm zoomed way the hell in. So we're just going to go to airport here. Advanced, TCP IP, manually. Give this 10.0.1.245. Subnet mask 255.255. Excuse me, hold on. .25. Come on, Butterfingers. .0. 255.255.252.0. We are on a /22 network after all. And 10.0.0.1 is the router. I don't want IPv6 enabled. DNS, we will add in our domain controller. That way if Ethernet does get unhooked, this thing will not lose its connection to the server. And of course I got to type the search domain again, so I'll be right back. There we go. Apply changes. I could actually connect to the Wi-Fi, but yeah, radius. So it wants a username and password. I'm not going to set it up with one because I don't want it to be stuck with that one. I'd rather have it single sign-on when necessary. So I'm not going to connect this to the Wi-Fi. It's already got Ethernet anyway. Now, of course, this has to be changed because I don't want this thing to be called Bitech Systems iMac G5. Now, you can't put in a full DNS name in there. It just won't work. I mean, it will change the dots into hyphens, and that's not how I want it. So the proper way to change the computer name when you want it on a domain is to use a terminal, SCUTIL. God, I wish I had my damn tripod. It'd be so nice. All right, so we will do that. You can see it says Bitech Systems iMac G5. We've got to change that. So we will fire up a terminal and take care of that. Okay, move the mouse out of the way. We won't need it for right now. Bring the keyboard over here. And because I don't want to have to type sudo each time, I'll just do a quick little sudo su. Get in a super user mode. And there we go. See if I remember how to do this. It's been a while. SCUTIL. I can't remember if it's, I think it's only one dash. Set host name. This will be AAPL dash iMac. This is my 4th iMac. Dash. The other 3 iMacs I have are Intel, so and I have them dual partitioned, but this is the only PowerPC iMac I have, so I'm just going to call it 004. So that's the host name. Host name gets the domain at the end. This is probably going to give me an error because I think the set flag needs 2 dashes. Yep, it is. See, set gets 2 dashes. So let's clear this out. and go up. We will go back. Oh, there's an error right there. Glad I caught that. Now this should work. Beautiful. Host name is now set. Now we actually need to do this here. Come on. Computer name. Set it exactly the same. And now, the last one we need, we get rid of the domain name. And we call this local host name. And there we go. Exit to get out of super user mode. And quit terminal with a new terminal there. You see now it's changed to Apple iMac 004. And let's put the keyboard up for a second. Damn, I'm zoomed way in. Now we can go to system preferences here. And if we check under sharing, we'll see that it has the name put in there. And it says your computer can be accessed to Apple iMac 004.local. But the computer name is the full name, including the domain name. And you cannot do that through the sharing menu. You have to use the terminal. So that works. So we'll quit that. Quit terminal. And now, I think we are actually ready to install some software. We got to get onto the file server, so go connect to server. Of course, this thing has never been connected to my file server before, so I've got to give it the address and all that other good info. We'll use AFP. Oh, come on. I didn't hit enter. Me and my fat fingers. FS01. We shouldn't need to enter the domain name because the search domain is set in system preferences. There we go. It's found my file server. And of course, I can't spell administrator right because I'm dumb. What the? Administrator does not have a Q in it, thank you. Like I said, fat fingers. There we go. We're going to go down to the software drive. There we go. Mac OS 10. Applications, PowerPC. Let's see where we're going to start here. Let's do our browsers first. So 10.4 Fox G. No, don't unzip that here. Cancel. Unzip that there. That's 10.4 Fox for the G5 processor. Really sucks that 10.4 Fox is out of development. I will still use it though, because it's a great browser for PowerPC. And this is right here. Just pop that right into applications. Turn my sound up a little bit. There we go. This can go into the trash. So now we have 10.4 Fox installed on here. Okay. The latest QuickTime for Leopard. Remember when the earlier part of this video said I needed 755 to run iTunes? Well, this is 764 here. That's going to require a restart. I know that for a fact. iLife 09 right here. That's going to also require a restart. I know that for a fact. I've got AppleWorks there. So, I also have LibreOffice. Don't need the developer version, but I will take the latest PowerPC version, which is old as hell, 4.0.6.2. Still works. Works quite well, I might add. I'm just going to go ahead and start dragging all this stuff over here. You know what? New folder. Call it installers. Okay. Just drop that in there. Grab all of these. Drop those in there. Adobe. This is the CS4 Master Collection. Real VNC. We'll grab that, move that over there. In the Microsoft folder, I should have, I forget which one of these I use. I think it's this one. But I also need the latest remote desktop for Mac. So I'll take that as well. I think that's everything that I put on here. Yeah. So I'll be back as soon as all this crap copies. I've got probably about a good 27 to 30 minutes to wait while it copies all this crap down from the file server. In the meantime, I'm going to try and take care of some other maintenance tasks, like disabling this primitive form of Spotlight, which all it does is slow the computer down. And that requires a terminal script, which I do not remember off the top of my head, and I will have to look it up. So I'll be back. So I ran the command sudo mdutil-i off / and it said indexing disabled. That's not good enough. I want to actually kill Spotlight. So what I'm going to do now is actually nuke the plist, the property lists that correspond to Spotlight. And in order to do that, we need to go Macintosh SSD, System, Library. First one is under Launch Agents. And com.apple.spotlight.plist. In case I ever want to bring it back, we'll copy it and then paste it here. Then I will go ahead and nuke the original. Damn it, I need a password. I hate that. Everything always wants a damn password. Okay, that's gone. Now, the other one is under System Library Launch Daemons, and this one is called com.apple.metadata.mds.plist. Here it is, com.apple.metadata.mds.plist. I will make a copy of that, and I will nuke the original. And again, I need to provide my password. There we go. And Spotlight is still running. You can see the search glass in the corner, but upon reboot, it will no longer have the search glass. And we will reboot. Not right now, because I am copying these files off the file server still, and I've got about 20 minutes to wait. So we will reboot after that, and I'll show you the spotlight icon will be gone. Okay, file copies are complete, and I have not rebooted it yet. You notice the spotlight icon is still in the top there. So let's go ahead and reboot it. And when it comes back, spotlight should be gone. Wow, that shut down fast. Solid state drive, y'all. Good old solid state drive. Wow, this thing boots fast with the solid state drive. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculously fast. And if we look up in the corner, there is no spotlight magnifying glass. So spotlight has officially been removed from the system. If I wanted to put spotlight back, I actually copied the files into the applications folder in that folder called spotlight. But if I wanted to put it back, I just restore those two plist files to their original location and reboot the Mac again. But now I've got all these installers to do. I know for a fact that this one's going to require a restart and this one's going to require a restart. So let's start with AppleWorks, because I know that should not require a restart. Shut up. Screw off. US and Canada installer. Go ahead and continue. Accept. SSD. Wow, that looks like OS 9's installer. I guess because this same software will run on Mac OS 9. I love AppleWorks. I actually have it on all my OS 9 machines and all my legacy OS 10 machines running Leopard and Snow Leopard. And I actually have it on all the machines that run Windows 7, Windows 2000, and Windows XP. And don't forget the Compaq over there, which is sleeping, but he is actually running Windows Vista. But all of them have AppleWorks installed. I don't have it installed on the modern Macs running El Capitan because it's not compatible, and likewise I don't have it installed on any of the Windows 11 machines. And quit. Let's just run it to make sure it works. Wow, that opened really fast. I don't need to open a word processing document to see it work. We will go ahead and eject the disk image and move on. Let's do LibreOffice. Skip the verify because it's a good image. I know where it came from. Just drag it to the applications folder. Close this. Ten seconds. Done. All right. Now let's move on to something else. So we'll eject LibreOffice, drag it to the trash to eject it. That QuickTime is going to require a reboot. Let's do Office 2008 for Mac, and hopefully this is the one that has. This might not be it. I might need to go back to the file server real quick, because one of these has the serial number in it. I wrote it down. I gotta log in, don't I? Hold on. Okay. Software. Before I waste time copying the other one down, I will just check to see if this one is the one that has the serial number in it. Okay, there's all our updates. Let's see what we got here. Home and Student Edition. Nope. I've got the serial number written down somewhere. I'll have to just find it. We're going to try the original one I copied down. Yep. So I am going to go get the product key, and I will be back as soon as I get it. There we go. I got it. And of course, I'm not going to show the key on screen because that's just dumb. And continue. This will take 1.1 gigabytes of space. Let's see. Should be able to have everything installed. Yep. Install now. Damn password again. All right, this is going to take a while, so of course I'll be back. Okay, if you look at the dock, you can see the Office icons have appeared: Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Entourage, which is basically Outlook. Grab the mouse real quick. Now the installer wants to remove previous versions of Office, which there are none, so this should just continue without any issue. It's going to try and search. I can skip it because this is a new install of Mac OS, so there's no versions of Office previously installed on here. And obviously no versions of Office were moved to the trash. There we go. Just run this initial setup with the fonts and everything. I don't want to participate in none of that crap. Finish. It's going to check for updates. I'm going to just cancel that because I've got all the service pack updates here, which I might as well actually copy this off the file server. And that's going to run. All right. Let's move on and get the new remote desktop here. Well, new being version 2.0.1, which is the latest one for PowerPC. Is it? Yeah. Because 2.11 is the one I run on Snow Leopard on Intel. Yep. Of course, password again. Damn it. Gotta have remote desktop. There we go. And so you go ahead and eject that. And we can actually go ahead and eject the Office 2008 CD, which is really an DMG file, not really a CD. Let's go ahead and run this VNC viewer and server package installer. I want both viewer and server. Again. This version 5.2.3 is universal for Intel and PowerPC. There we go. And I already have a license key, and I do have this one memorized, but I will not be giving it out, so I'll be right back. Excellent. That's activated. There we go. VNC server. It's running at the local IP address of this iMac, 10.0.1.244. And close that. And go ahead and check for updates. Okay. That's AppleWorks done, LibreOffice done, Microsoft Office done, VNC done, Remote Desktop done. iLife 09 is going to take forever and is going to require a reboot. QuickTime is going to require a reboot as well, but it shouldn't take too long. This is version 7.6.4. I think this requires a reboot. I'm not sure. Will it? Oh, I don't think it will. That's nice. Oh, yep. Installing this software requires you to restart your computer when the installation is done. Do you want to install now? Fuck it. We'll be back. And reboot. Now we get to see this fast startup again. There we go. So that takes care of QuickTime. I guess we're going to do the Adobe CS4 Master Collection. Adobe Creative Suite 4 Master Collection. I don't have 2 gigs or more of RAM in this thing. I've got 1.5 gigs. And believe me, I searched for a RAM stick that would fit this thing that would allow me to go to 2 gigs. The setup of this thing was one 1 gig stick and one 256 meg stick. When I got it, I switched the 256 meg stick out for a 512 meg stick. But that only gives us 1.5 gigs. Maybe someday I'll find another one that will work. Of course, now I've got to get the serial number, because you can't do this like you do CS6 where you can just replace framework files. That won't work. So I've got to actually get the serial number for this thing and activate it, and then I've got a way to make it stay active for all users. So I will be right back. I've got our license key entered and it worked. We'll just accept. And yeah, we got everything selected here. So it's a total install size of 9.5 gigabytes. We'll go ahead and do that. This is going to take a while. So we'll be back when this is done. Meanwhile, I've got to actually go over to my Power Mac and grab, or I could go to any of the machines that have this software installed already, but I'm going to go to the Power Mac G5 because G5 and G5 is nice. I have modified the hosts file to redirect anything going to activator.adobe.com or wherever. Any of those domains, I have modified the host file so it redirects it to localhost 127.0.0.1, and that is how I keep it permanently activated. So I'm going to just go ahead and copy the host file from my Power Mac G5 on the other side of the room, copy that over to a flash drive, and I'll bring it over here and I'll replace the host file on this machine with that one. Well, it turns out that I'm actually smarter than I thought. I've already done this before, so I actually had I actually found that I had already copied the Adobe modified, if you will, host file to my file server under utilities of all things. So I don't need the flash drive, and I discovered that because I made a copy of it just now on the G5 Power Mac, and when I went to go copy it to utilities on the file server, I'm like, oh, it's already here. I'm like, so I'm not as dumb as I thought I was. Let's log back into the file server. To software. Okay. And Mac OS 10. Utilities. PowerPC. There it is. Adobe modified hosts. Dumb. Oh, there's remote. Damn, I got a whole bunch of stuff on here I didn't even realize. Pacifist is on here. Stuff to open 7Z files is on here, which I never got that to work. Oh, Loginox. I'm going to need that as well. Let me go ahead and copy that back down to here. I will be needing Loginox because you can't get that online anymore. And this, I mean, you can get the one that runs on Intel, but this is the one for PowerPC. And it was so hard to find it, but I've got it. Adobe modified hosts. Let's open this with text edit, make sure. Look at all that good stuff. Everything pointing to adobe.com, besides adobe.com itself, is being redirected to 127.0.0.1. So all the activator servers are just being redirected to localhost. So yeah, it will never try and activate again. So I copied that down to the desktop there. It's right there now, so we can close this out. Minimize this. Close that out. I don't need text edit running anymore, but I will need a terminal running because it's not like I can just go in there. I'm not connect to server. Not like I can just go in there and drag and drop it into the Etsy folder. So we will go into terminal. I'm going to say sudo cp for copy. And now I'm going to drag this here. Users admin desktop hosts. And I want it to go into etc/hosts. Password, of course. Fudge nuggets. I hate my fat fingers. So that should have worked. I don't trust it though, so we will be going sudo nano /etc/hosts. And you can see in the text-based text editor, I can't use the mouse, I'm sorry, that all of this Adobe crap has been local hosted out. Also in that local host, or in that hosts file, I've included some other ones that are important, like redirecting anything going to DCO1 to the IP address of my domain controller, and anything going to DCO2. God damn it, focus, you fuck. Anything going to DCO2, redirecting to my Apple Open Directory server. So there we go. Don't have to save anything. Just Command Q. Now this will never try and activate Adobe, and if it does, all requests will be bounced right to localhost. So I can actually delete this now. I can actually empty the trash too. So that's set up, and by the time this is done, everything should be ready to go except for why the fuck is there an owl outside right now? It's fucking broad daylight. I can hear him though. Back on topic. I need to get a picture copy of the desktop wallpaper. I'm trying to remember where I have the lock screen. Here it is. So move you real quick. Let's go here. We'll grab the desktop and the lock screen. I'm pretty sure that the screen resolution size of this machine is 1680 by 1050 because it's a 20-inch iMac like my 2007 20-inch iMac. The screen resolution is 1680 by 1050. So that's the 2007 Intel. So it should be the same screen. 1680 by 1050. Yep. So I want these images to take up the full screen, so I'm going to actually resize them now that they've been copied here. I didn't want to touch the original. So tools, adjust size, and set this to pixels. 1680, 1050. Come on. There we go. Save it. Close it. Do the desktop. Open. Tools. Adjust size. And we're going to do, again, 1680 by 1050. And what this does is when I force the other one, the lock screen, to be the login screen background using Loginox, it's going to be the perfect resolution for this machine. I adjust it automatically according to every machine. So like the iBook G4 over there, or even the iBook G3. Would you focus, you fuck? Thank you. I've got it set at 1024 by 768. So all of those are set. So now we can close this, definitely save it. And because the desktop wallpaper is applied via Work Group Manager, which is Apple's version of group policy, it has to be renamed the same name as what the server is going to call it to set the background as. And I'm going to have to go on to one of my other Macs and find out what that name is, because I set this shit up so long ago I can't remember. So I'll be back when Adobe's done. And there we go. So I just thought of something. Adobe is using its own installer software. So that means the system installer is free and can be used to do something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Microsoft Office Service Pack updates. So we'll start with Service Pack 1, because you have to do these sequentially. You can't just go to the latest one. You've got to do Service Pack 1, then Service Pack 2, then Service Pack 3. Service Pack 1 is version 12.1.0. And this is going to take forever. I don't know why, it just does. So I will be back when it's ready. So a couple of things have happened. This is ready to be installed. I'm not going to do it yet. So I got to make a quick little change here. Let me minimize Adobe. We'll minimize this installer. Go back. I found out what the name of this needs to be for the server to be happy. So we will rename it. And now we'll actually go to the hard drive, library, desktop pictures, and we will just drag it in here, because this is where the server expects to find that file. Now, I can close that out, and I can go ahead and install Service Pack 1 of Office. Let's bring up this thing again just so I can watch it. Password, of course. And I'll be back when this is done. Almost there. This is just Service Pack 1. Then I've got to do Service Pack 2. And then I've got to do Service Pack 3. And the reason why I have to update this is because in order for Microsoft Entourage, the email client, which was replaced by Outlook in Office 2011 for Mac, but in order for it to work with our Exchange server, which we have hosted here, it's got to have EWS installed, Exchange Web Services, or WSE, if you will, Entourage Web Services Edition. And that will only install on Service Pack 3. So we didn't have a Service Pack when I first installed it. Now we're about to have Service Pack 1, or version 12.1.0. And this should be done in a matter of seconds. The Adobe installer is still chugging away. And this is doing the installer script for Excel, help installer script for Excel. It already did Word. Should do PowerPoint next. Adobe is installing Illustrator right now. I apologize for so many jump cuts in this video. My battery is very low, and every time I stop recording, I'm putting it on the charger. So when I come back, I'm taking it off the charger. But I don't want the phone to die on me, so yeah. This is almost done. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, it's doing the Entourage Help Installer script. So, I'm not sure how many. Okay, yeah, Microsoft Messenger. That service is dead. That's MSN Messenger. On Mac, it's called Microsoft Messenger. That service is long since dead, but I can't stop it from installing. You can see the good old icon for it. Who remembers good old MSN Messenger on Windows? Back in the days of dial-up internet and AOL, AIM, and all that bullshit. I never used AIM. I always was an MSN Messenger person. Don't know why, just how it was. And the ironic thing is I actually had AOL back in the day. Well, AOL for a while, and then switched over to when I was still using dial-up, I think I switched over to Net Zero for a while, which was alright. And then I think my last dial-up provider before I got broadband was SBC Global. If I'm remembering correctly. But then Cincinnati Bell, now Alta Fiber, but back then Cincinnati Bell and Zoomtown, Fuse.net came and saved the day with DSL, and that was loads better than dial-up. DSL is quite shitty today if you were to use it, but yeah, I'll take 100 megs or whatever. Actually, excuse me, I would take 10 megs per second over 56 kilobytes per second any day. It's got to do all these damn language packs, man. I'm never going to use these language packs, but yet it's got to install them all or update them all. So here I sit. Adobe is doing Adobe InDesign CS4 now. Okay, it did French, now it's doing German. I think before then it did Finnish. I know I did English already. Italian. Does this have an installer log? Let me see. It might have an installer log I can look at. Nope, it does not. I'll be back when this is done. Oh, there's Japanese. Okay, it looks like it's done with the language packs because it's doing the clip art installer script, and over here update on Adobe is it's now installing Adobe Photoshop CS4. And who the fuck is at the front door? I'll be back. It was the mail carrier with the mail. And I'm back. We're installing Flash CS4. And this is doing the organizational chart installer script. Sounds installer script. And I'll tell you what, this is the longest about a minute I've had to deal with. Core components installer script. I'm not going to make you guys sit through service packs 2 and 3. I'll just do those, and I'll do something else while I'm waiting, because it's basically going to be a repeat of the process twice more times. And then once more when I do Entourage's web service update. So right now we're running, well, we are running 12.0. As soon as this finishes, it'll be 12.1.0, which is Service Pack 1's version number. Then we'll be having Service Pack 2 right there, which will make it version 12.2.7. And then Service Pack 3 will bring it up to 12.3.6. And then the Entourage Web Service Edition update will bring Entourage itself up to version 13.1.6. While the rest of Office will still be at 12.3.6. So I can take that back down. We're running the Silverlight installer script. Even though Silverlight is long since dead, Microsoft killed it a while ago. Silverlight had its heyday in the Windows XP and Windows 7 days. It wasn't hardly used anymore when Windows 8 came out. Flash CS4 extension is working hard over here. Something just quit. I don't know what it was. I think it was a setup file for Adobe. And Adobe's giving me the rainbow wheel. So that's telling me that Adobe is probably going to be done any second. There we go. Screw a registration. And Office 2008 Service Pack 1 is done. So we will exit this. I'm going to attempt to fire up Photoshop, and let's see if the activation hack works. Excellent. Oh man, I love that shit. And quit out of it. All right, we can drag Service Pack 1 CD image to the trash. We'll go. Oh, I already have it open on the dock. Hold on. 12.2.7 for Service Pack 2. Skip the verification. Skip the volume check. And continue. Yep. And now we wait. And I will be back when this is done. I'm not going to cut in before it's done, because it's all just boring minutia. And there we go. I got to put my password in, but I will catch you guys when this is done. Well, that didn't take very long at all. Pretty much less than 3 minutes, to be honest. So we can close that one. Go ahead and eject this image. And, oh, come on. I said eject. What's running that's using it? There we go. 12.3.6. Skip to verify. Skip. So now here goes Service Pack 3. Agree. We wait for it to do the drive search. Yeah, this is going much quicker. Password time. All right. That wasn't slow at all. I think only the Service Pack 1 update is what takes forever. But as you can see, now we are on Office 2008, Service Pack 3, version 12.3.6. So now I can go ahead and do the Entourage update. Which will bring Entourage, yep, there it is, Web Services Edition. This will bring Entourage up to version 13.1.6. Which will allow it to connect to Exchange 2010 server. And if you watch my previous video, you know why I still have Exchange 2010. Damn it. Done. Drag this to the trash. It's in use still. Won't eject. Try it again. There we go. Now it's ejected. Let's open up Word and see what we got going on here. Oh, shit. We've got this error. Office for Mac has determined that the product key is not valid. So we're going to have to fix that. I know how to fix it. I'm not going to do it on camera, though, but I know how to fix it. I lied, and I am going to attempt to fix this on camera. If my battery holds out, I am at 16% right now. Where am I going? Applications. Microsoft Office 2008. What folder? Office PID.playlist, or not playlist, .property list, plist. Trash it. Now I gotta go users, admin, versus my user, library, preferences, Microsoft Office 2008. Microsoft Office 2008 settings and trash it. Empty the trash. Yes. Now open it. It should prompt for a product key again, which I should be able to enter a new product key, and then it should work. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so after a little bit of software hackery, let's see if I fixed it. Okay, Office Setup Assistant. And it's not going to ask me for the product key. Let's see if this is going to work or if it's going to blow up in my face again. It might blow up in my face again. No software update. Let's see if it'll run. Yes! Yep. Well, I know how to do it now. I'm not going to forget that. Product key not valid, my ass. Make it valid. We're just optimizing the font menu performance. And there's Word. If Word works, they all work, so. And let me just check that again. I want to see the splash screen. I couldn't see what version number it was. But help. Come on. Our Word menu. About Word. 12.3.6. Beautiful. Okay, so that issue is resolved. Now, I want to actually quit this. I want to move Loginox. Loginox is a really helpful utility. It actually lets you change the login screen wallpaper, which right now is default. So I'm actually going to log out so you can see it. It's the default Aurora. So I want it to be my logo background here. So we will go to Loginox here. And as simple as it's as simple as just dragging the image. Now remember, I already set the resolution of the image to match my screen's resolution. So it should be as simple as dragging this to here and hit set new login image. And of course, I need a password. When don't I need a password? It's going to move over to the left, and then you know it's good. You can quit that. Now when I log out, it shall have the proper background for my system. Yep, there we go. Okay. Notice how it only had the local account there. That's just because we haven't joined it to the network and the preferences haven't applied yet. The only thing we got left is iLife 09, which, because it's going on to a G5, it should allow me to have all of the iLife applications. When I install iLife 09 onto a G4, I think it leaves out, I think it leaves out iDVD or iMovie, one of them. But I'm not sure. Of course, password again. And yes, I will have to restart again. But after this, I do not want to register. After this, I will be doing the fun shit, which is joining it to both Active Directory and Open Directory. So, and that'll actually finish up this setup of this iMac G5. So, all within about, oh damn, what time did I start? About 1 o'clock, I think. it was before. It's been, I think it was 12:30 I started. Maybe 12 o'clock. So it's been 3.5 hours of me doing this, and we're almost done. So that's actually not bad at all. Usually to image one Mac and install all of the software, it takes a lot longer. Now, theoretically, I could have just carbon copy cloned a completed install on here, but there's several problems with that. The installation ID of macOS has to be unique, or else Open Directory will be very feisty and not even allow it to join. And sometimes it doesn't even allow it to join at all. And then I'm just crossing my fingers and hope I don't run into that problem today. But we shall see. Anyhow, this is going to take a while to install iLife, so I'm not going to allow my phone to go dead recording it all. But anyway, I will catch you guys on the flip side. All right. Now for the fun part, if you will. Joining to the domain. So here we need directory utility, and this is Leopard, so it's under utilities. They moved it once you got to Snow Leopard. Directory utility was relocated to System Library Core Services, but we're on Leopard, so it's right here in utilities, which is the smart place for it to be. Show advanced settings. There's no directory servers configured. We're gonna have to change that. We need 2. So first, Active Directory. Keyboard. This is the Active Directory domain name, the FQDN. Bind, domain admin password this time. Username and password, I should say. And we are joined to the domain. Now, I got to change a few things because I just have to do that. So go to Show Advanced Options here. Uncheck Force Local Home Directory on Startup Disk. I want it to use Network Homes. And make sure it uses AFP. Now, under Administrative, allow administration by, and that is perfect. We need one more group. I will copy, paste, and the group I want to add is just called admins. That's my own group in Active Directory. So Active Directory is complete and configured. Now we got to go to Open Directory. And this is where I got to cross my fingers it doesn't throw up some bullshit error. So we'll go to LDAP v3, new, and you got to type this in, DC02. I should be able to do this because I set the host file to recognize DC02 and point it to the proper IP address. And hit continue. I gotta unlock, of course, with the local account. Okay, it's gonna ask me to bind. Excellent. The Open Directory admin. Come on, baby. Yes! No issues. All right, now we're not done. That's good there. Grab me the mouse. Here, put the keyboard away. And save these settings. I'll go over here. We got 2 green lights, dco2.internal.corporation.com, and the Active Directory domain, so Open Directory Server and Active Directory domain. They're both green. But in order for the Apple policies to apply, I've actually got to go onto the Open Directory server and add this to a list of member computers that has the policies applied. So we can close this out. And if I log out, you'll notice, I'll just show you this. The other icon has appeared because there is now network accounts available to be logged in. But the login window still isn't the way I want it. There's no policy banner at the top like on other Apple machines. And I don't want these icons. I want a username and password field. So we'll go here. And also, shut down, restart, and sleep are buttons there. I want those gone. That's part of my policy configuration. I don't want it to be able to be shut down without logging in. So we will, I like to do this while the machine's logged in because that way, once it logs out, it'll spawn the new login window instead of having to wait for the login window to refresh. So I'm going to leave that there, and we're going to go over here and remote into my Open Directory server. So we're here on my Dell, logged into my Active Directory account, of course. And we are going to go to VMware Workstation, since everything's virtual servers-wise. Log into VMware Workstation with Active Directory. We will go to DC02, which is the Open Directory server. We will go full screen. Log in locally. This is running Mountain Lion server 10.8.5. The Galaxy, the Andromeda Galaxy. And my KVM switch wants to act up. So I'll just put that back where it goes. It does that. It just does that randomly whenever I'm using VMware. It's annoying, but I have to deal with it. Workgroup Manager. We will not log in locally here. We'll log in with directory admin, so dir admin. It knows the password automatically. Connect. And now we go to our so there's users, groups, computers, and computer groups. So let's check the computers list. Let's see. iMac 004 has been added to the computer list, so the server knows it exists. We're not going to do anything with it there. We're going to go to computer groups, OD bound Macs. We're going to go to members. Notice it's not there. iMac 3SL. It's the last iMac, so we're going to hit the little plus icon here. And we're going to do iMac 004. Move that over here. And save. And as soon as I hit save and I close Workgroup Manager, it's going to propagate that change over the network. And now, give it like maybe 10 seconds to finish up. Okay, now, damn, I need to oil my chair. Now when I log out, it should have the settings applied. Let's see. Perfect. So you'll see that the login window, the shutdown, sleep, and restart options have disappeared. And the policy banner now displays. And instead of icons, it's a username and password field. I like the green light. Green light's showing up now. Excellent. Now the only thing left to do, which is the very last thing, is to test logging in. So I'm going to use my Active Directory credentials here, and not the local account. And it should accept it, which it looks like it has. Let's see what happens here. Does the wallpaper spawn itself? Yep, wallpaper applied. Excellent. I got a desktop. And I've just got one issue that I forgot about, and that is that I have to change, I've got to change the name of, what's it called? I got to change the name of Microsoft Office because it's not going to apply properly. So can I do that from here? I don't know. We'll try it. And this only happens because I've got two different versions of Office on here. So, or not on here, but on the network. 2008 on PowerPC and 2011 on Intel. Not including 2001 on OS 9, because that just doesn't matter. So, oh, keyboard's falling. Come on, get up here. So, in order for it to play nice, I've just got to remove the 2008 from the name. Now, if I log out, actually, I got to take care of one thing real quick. I'll be right back. All right, we're logging back in here after I made a couple of changes. Just file name changes so that everything lines up properly. Oh, there we go. I need the mouse. Come here. Display as folder. Display as folder. And now, instead of those two question marks, we have a folder on the dock. Has all of the Office applications. And another folder on the dock that has all of the Adobe applications. Beautiful. So this Mac, this iMac G5 from late 2004, is perfectly set up and joined to the network. Excellent. Thanks for watching, guys. I know this was a long video, but it's finally over. Goodbye.